Good morning, guys. In today's video, we are going to discuss how to attract top talent at your organization. Before I begin, let me tell you that ideas are mostly overrated. Alibaba was not the first e-commerce website, nor was Google the first search engine. At the core of each success story was a team that made it happen. People are at the core of any and every success story. As an entrepreneur, the biggest reason why you would succeed or fail at your goal would depend on the kind of people that you're able to attract and retain in your organization. Let that sink in. As an entrepreneur, your success is going to depend on the kind of people that you're able to attract and retain in your organization. Before I begin, I would like to add two things. First, B2C companies have a slightly more advantage here. Facebook is a day-to-day thing that we do. So everyone aspires to work for Facebook because we know Facebook. We might aspire to work for a company that is changing our lives, be it LinkedIn, be it Facebook, be it Uber. If these apps affect our lives, we would love to work at such organizations. B2B companies are going to have a slightly more difficult time, but again, with time, with continuous effort, they can also become an employer of choice. Also, one more thing that I would like to mention here is that not all roles require top performers. For example, a top performer in a role where they aren't challenged would easily get bored and leave. So it does not make sense to hire top performers in all the roles. As an HR or as an entrepreneur, the first goal should be you should be able to decide whether this role requires a top performer, right? So let's assume that you've thought upon it, and if you still feel that this is a role that is going to define how successful your organization becomes, and if you've decided that you want to hire top talent, let us look at some ways on how you can make your organization a talent magnet for top talent. First, have a flexible work culture. Nothing motivates anyone more than the freedom and flexibility that they're offered. ठीक है, so be very accommodating to their needs, be very accommodating to what they want, listen to them diligently, do try to understand what their expectations are and try to fulfill it for top performers. Make sure that your policies, your HR policies work as an enabler for people. A lot of times HR policies become a constraint that you cannot do this because this is written in the company document. What you should keep in mind is that HR policies are created for people and they should be an enabler for people to do well, right? They should help people achieve their goals, right? So please have a flexible work culture. The world will definitely know if you have a flexible work culture, and top talent would want to work with you. Second, retain and promote your top performers, right? If you're able to retain them and if you're able to promote them, the company would know that this is the place for top performers, right? You will get more applications from top performers because everybody wants to work in a culture wherein there are top performers. Also get references from these A players that you have. Chances are that these A players know other players. Okay? If you're one yourself, you can also reach out to your network. Third, give them more responsibility. Top performers love more responsibilities. They're always willing to do more. So identify your top performers early and give them more responsibility. They would love it. Take a fourth. Now this could be slightly, not everybody would like it, but I believe that remove mediocrity from your organization. No matter how careful you are with your hiring strategy, you will inevitably make a mistake. And you should ideally not let a mediocre person at your organization, because that affects the whole culture. It affects the top performers badly when they see that they don't like working with mediocre people, right? So, and I'm not saying it is not possible for you to hire only top performers. What I'm saying is, if you have identified that you've hired a mediocre performer who is not a top performer, please let them go. If it is a role that is going to affect your organization, in a big way. So if it is a role like a customer success role, first, I'm not saying remove them outrightly. Give them choices. Try to understand why they are, why they are not able to be a top performer. Try to facilitate it to them. If they need training, give it to them. If they need any support, give it to them. But even after this, if you feel that they're not able to cope up, then I think it is best not just for the organization but also for them, because I personally think that life is too short to do mediocre work. So if you think that you have made a hiring mistake, be open about it, be transparent about it, and communicate it to the other person, so that he also knows that this is not a place where he would be able to give his 100% and be happy about it, right? So let them go. I know it might sound a bit controversial, but that is how I look at it, right? Be fast to remove them before it starts affecting your culture. Smart people always want to work with people who are smarter than them. Make sure that you offer them this at your organization. Okay, fifth point would be, have a good interview experience for potentials you find. A lot of times what would happen is you might have a top performer in your pipeline, but because your process is so long, they might lose interest. Make sure that you do no more than 3 interviews. If it is taking you more than 3 interviews to decide whether you should hire a particular person or not, then you should seriously look at your recruitment process. Make sure that the process does not take too long. As a small startup, I would say that it should not take more than 10 days max. 10 days is the upper limit. Okay. Also, one thing that everyone misses out on is, because it is very boring, make sure that you provide feedback to, after every interview, thank them for attending the interview and tell them that if you're not going to go ahead with them, communicate it to them upfront, right? Be open with that communication. That is going to build your time, build your brand over time, right? Be flexible. Don't be adamant on some key features. You should know that top performers come in all shape and sizes. Some might be from a top-notch school. Some top performer might not be from a top-notch school. So be flexible that way. Be transparent with the people that you're considering in terms of what they can expect at your organization and what you are expecting out of them, right? Okay. Next would be, put your organizational story out there for the world to see it. How you started, how did the founders start, what are they currently doing, what were some, if you're a startup, there will be moments of near death for you. Be open about it, share it with the world. And the world will feel a connect. The talent that you're targeting will feel a connect with you when you put your raw story out there. So don't be ashamed to share your failures. Share them openly. Tell them that this is what you did, this is what did not work out. Share your learnings from it, and then they'll feel an emotional connect with you, and that could be one reason why they apply to your organization, right? You do that. Also, your vision should be audacious, right? Your vision should be audacious. So Facebook's mission is to make the world a more connected place, right? You feel connected to the vision. LinkedIn's mission is to make the professionals of the world more successful and connected with each other. Walt Disney says that we don't make movies to make more movies. We make money to make more movies, right? So we don't make movies to make money, but we make money to make more movies. Now, movie lovers would love this mission, right? So your company's mission, company's vision, what you're trying to achieve should be magnetic, because then people would want to work with you, and even your growth plan should be audacious, right? So top performers would like an audacious goal that we want to. So let's say if you are a startup that has achieved a product market fit, your goal for the next 1 year could be, we want to grow 5x from where we are. Now that's an audacious goal, and top performers would love to take on such challenging tasks. So make your company's goal audacious. Next point would be that people in your key positions should be leaders. So one thing how I would define a leader is, so a leader does not create more followers, he or she creates more leaders. So what it means is, inherently a leader is someone who nurtures, who cares for their team, who nurtures the talent that is there, right? And that is the reason they are able to bring more leaders, find more leaders in other people. Someone who's just a manager, who's not a leader, will probably bring in more followers. That is not what you want. As a growing organization, you want people who promote, who motivate other people to grow, right? And it does not scare them that, right? It does not scare them that the other person would know such and so thing. They are always ready to share their knowledge to motivate and promote others to their, to their role. Okay. If you have the right people at key positions in your organization, essentially people would be attracted to them, right? And they would want to work at your organization. So this is another point that you should keep in mind. Make sure that the leaders that you have in your organization at key positions are definite leaders, and they're, they have a charisma around them. Okay. Again, if you do everything right, you also need to make sure that you showcase it to people that you have a fantastic work culture. It should be there on your website, on your career page. It should be there on your LinkedIn page, in your post. Shamelessly, you should be able to communicate the employee brand, the employee perks that you have, the kind of culture that is there. You should be able to communicate it. Right? LinkedIn is a fantastic place to start, or you could also find out places where your target persona hangs out, right? So, right, if you're looking for freshers, maybe you could go to IITs and recruit, and you should be, you should be able to figure out that this is where on IIT's campus is a place wherein you need to build your brand, right? If you want to hire top talent in Java, maybe you should find out communities, maybe on Stack Overflow or some other channel wherein your target segment interacts, and you should be able to showcase your brand there, right? If you showcase your brand, people will eventually start interacting with your brand, and that would be the first step to get them in your organization, right? This will even get you people who were not even looking for change in the first place. So very important. Last thing that I would like to mention here is that always take feedback from your team. A lot of times, as leaders, we might not know what problems everyone is facing, right? Till 15-20 employees, you know that you are on a 1:1 connect with them. But if the work is remote, or if you are more than 20-25 people, it gets really difficult for you to be in touch with each one of them, right? You're of course focusing on other challenges as well. So make sure that you have a 1:1 with them, or you have a set mechanism where you can hear them out, right? It could be as simple as doing a monthly 1:1 with them. It could be as simple as having a feedback form, or having somebody else do it. But make sure that you always get feedback from your current employees on what their current employee experience is like. What are the things that they like at our organization? What are some things that they want to get changed, right? They would prefer if these things get changed. These will help you get a lot of insight into what the current employees are liking and what they're not liking. Just if you listen now, they'll feel cared and valued. And if you take action on these insights that you get, it will be a wonderful addition to your employee experience, right? They would absolutely love it. So with those thoughts, I would take your leave. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Till then, best of luck and keep recruiting top talent. Thank you.